YouTube, what's going on? My name is Argon. Welcome back to some Fortnite informational, instructional, and conversational type of content. Today we're going to be talking about the vault, ladies and gentlemen, and all the items and weapons that have made their way to there, and whether or not they are a good addition to the vault. We're going to rank them in order from worst to best items that have made their way to the vault. But before I go any further, of course, I want to remind you guys that we do a giveaway on this channel every single month for the most active users. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and all that kind of stuff. Follow me on Twitter, social media, whatever. The more active you are, the more often I see your name, the more likely you are to win some V-Bucks as well. There is a couple days left of the Galaxy skin giveaway, guys, and that is going to be in a Gleam link down in the description below. If you're watching this video after September 14th, that giveaway is completed, so don't bother entering, sorry. But thanks for watching. You can still win the V-Bucks every single month. But either way, guys, let's move into this. Of course, we're going to be looking at the vault. Now, the vault, in case for some reason you're not aware, is when they take an item or weapon out of the game and they take it out of circulation. They do this for various reasons. One, you know, they don't want to cloud the loot pile with weapons that people aren't using that much, weapons or items that are not that effective, so they just want to take them out to remove the opportunity for you to get them in a chest, which is really for your benefit. That way you don't go to a chest and get a weapon that's not very useful or helpful to you. So that's why they do it. It's really to help you out, but in some cases it's kind of unfair. In other cases it's well warranted. But either way, let's go into this list, guys. There are 7 of these, and starting with the 7th item that made its way to the vault, we have the submachine gun. Yes, this is the regular submachine gun. It was vaulted February 12th. Now, this weapon never really made its way into prominence in terms of being useful, even from, it's been there since launch. It was a launch day item. It's just not good. Never was good, no matter what they did to it. They tried to make it better, it just didn't work. This one was rightfully vaulted, and I think what ended up happening was they replaced it with the silenced SMG, and once the silenced SMG got some play, they went ahead and vaulted this weapon. So that was well worth it. I think it was a good addition to the vault. The next item, guys, was the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade got added to the vault April 11th. For some reason, it wasn't used very much, and I can explain why it wasn't used very much. It just didn't work very well. Whenever you throw some smoke, it would just end up in a big circle. It didn't really spread very well like smoke would. So I think it was a little bit broken, and it didn't really do much. Unfortunately, I wish that this was better, because I think smoke grenades are useful in games, but in a game like this where sound is so loud, footsteps are so easy to hear, maybe smoke wouldn't be that useful. They did end up adding the gas grenade, you know, the stinky bombs. I think those are a little bit better than the smoke grenades, so I'm kind of glad they actually took this out and replaced it with the stinky grenades. That was probably a better addition, but either way, smoke grenades are the number 6 item that made their way to the vault. Coming in at number 5, guys, we have the revolver. Now, the revolver, I believe, is a pretty good weapon. Unfortunately, it seems like you only find it and you only equip it when you get it when you first land, and that's probably why it got vaulted, because if you had the opportunity to pick up a revolver late game, you probably weren't going to pick it up. It didn't really have a position in the game, late game or mid game, because if you had, if you needed a long range item, you could use the deagle, or you could use a sniper rifle or hunting rifle. Now, the revolver was kind of nice because it did do more consistent damage. It had less of a damage drop off than the deagle. Seemed to be a little bit easier to hit shots with, had a little bit faster fire rate. But either way, it was, kind of a ranged weapon, like a long range weapon. The blue one would do some good damage. It was pretty fun to use. You felt good when you got kills with it, but it wasn't all that useful. So it's probably fair for this thing to hit the vault, which it did September 6th of this month. The next item to make it to the vault, guys, is the crossbow. This got vaulted May 1st. Now, this was added originally, I believe, with the Valentine's update, where it would shoot little bows that had hearts on them. It was pretty cool. You sound like you got kissed by it. But this weapon was pretty much, it was even memed this way. It was mostly used just to mess with your friends, to make them think that you were getting shot at. It is actually pretty darn good. It was silent, you couldn't hear anything, and it had unlimited ammo, and it could shoot 5 bows without actually having to reload it. I thought it was a pretty cool weapon. It's not something I would carry very frequently, but if you could get kills with it, you could do 75 damage pretty consistently. And in a game nowadays, I'd actually kind of like to see it come back with the meta that we have now, with how, not dominant long range weapons are. Maybe a weapon that could silently shoot with almost no drop and hit for 75 without having a long reload time might actually be kind of useful. I'd like to see it come back, but for now, there's not coming back for this weapon, so the crossbow makes its way into the vault. Coming in as the 3rd, I guess best, I don't know what we're calling this list, worst to best. Worst to best items that made their way to the vault is the TAC submachine gun, guys. Now, this made its way to the vault after the regular submachine gun. This made its way in June 27th. Unfortunately for this poor guy, he made his way, or she, I don't know what kind of a gender of weapon is, whatever. The TAC submachine gun really suffered through being really useless for a very long time, and then for about a week and a half it was super OP, and then for another week and a half it was moderate but really acceptable, and I really enjoyed its position in the play. I like the way this finally settled in the meta, and as soon as it settled in the meta, it got removed. I don't know why they removed this weapon. I think because they brought the compact SMG and the non-silenced SMG, or whatever you want to call it, so they kind of got replaced. I just like the look of these, I like the sound of them, but I know that these came in I believe a epic variant as well, not a legendary but a rare and epic, and so those kind of got replaced, superseded by the compacts and the unsilenced SMGs. So it got replaced, unfortunately. Too bad. It was basically, it's not really vaulted, if you will, just a different weapon. The functionality's still in the game, it's just under a different skin. However, this weapon was unfortunately vaulted just as soon as it finally became good. It was kind of just sad to see. But either way, the tac submachine gun makes its way in the 3rd spot. Now the number 2 weapon in the vault that made its way to the vault, guys, that I had a hard time deciding between the number 2 and the number 1, but the number 2 I gotta say is the Zapatron. This made its way into the vault September 29 of 2017. Yes, that's right. Literally within like the day that it was released, it got put in the vault. Now this was September 29th, 2017. That was basically the initial release of Battle Royale. At least on console. I don't know how long it's been out on. I'm assuming a couple months on PC. Either way, guys, this one was really like super OP. If you can find some videos of this, not a lot of people got to play it. And at the time that they were having this weapon, they didn't really have a good handle on how to balance meta, on how to balance weapons. Back then, ARs used to do 95 damage at range. Tac shotguns could hit you for 120 from like 10 meters away. Everything was super OP, and this one was the most OP. So I think it was rightfully so to be released, vaulted. In fact, I always thought it was kind of an urban legend that it was never actually in the game. That's how short of a time it was actually in the game. But I had to put it at number 2, mostly because the number 1 that got vaulted, I think at this point is no surprise to you. It's just such an important weapon to the game, changed so much. But the Zapatron, if you guys had a chance to use it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to say that less than 1% of people who play Fortnite now have actually used this weapon, let alone, or I should say have seen this weapon in game, let alone actually used it. But look up some videos of actual gameplay. I sure don't have any of it. But either way, Zapatron is the number 2 best item to make its way to the vault. Last and certainly not least, in fact the most important weapon, and if you've been keeping track at this point, you definitely know which weapon I'm talking about. Item that made its way to the vault is the drum gun. Yes, it just made its way to the vault this week, and unfortunately this weapon, or fortunately, I'm going to say fortunately, the spam machine, it made its way to the vault. I think it was really useful to get taken to the vault, because this is the gun that really changed the meta for worse. It made building less important, it made shotguns less important, it made even ARs less important. This weapon really overtook and became kind of the jack of all trades weapon, and when you're looking at game design, guys, you really don't want that. There's no other point to have any other weapons when you could pick up even an uncommon green drum gun and pass up on a gold scar. You know how many times I would see people do that? That's just bad. That's bad design. That's super OP. It's not balanced well. A weapon that can do AR damage with 50 rounds in a clip and a decent fire rate. I believe it actually shot a little bit slower, maybe a little bit faster than an AR. Either way, it was like it was supposed to be like a mesh between, or like a middle ground between an AR and an SMG, but really all it was just that part of it made it. And once you combine it with the fact that shotguns got nerfed like crazy, this gun just became the most useful gun, and everybody would use it, and they wouldn't build with it, they would just spam through your builds. I'm really glad. It really got frustrating to me. I never really cared for this gun. I finally started to use it, and I started to finally realize why it was so powerful and adapt to the meta, and then they took it out. So either way, I'm better off not having this gun in the game. I'll use my SMGs and my ARs and my shotguns. I'll take that all day rather than have a spam magnet that makes everybody better than they really are. I'm glad they took this out of the game, guys. This drum gun made its way to the vault. Good riddance. Maybe we never get a gun like this ever again. But either way, that's a list, guys. Worst to best guns that have made their way to the vault. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below about my order. That's pretty much all of them, so there's not really much to debate whether or not they belong on this list or not. Just what would you think would be the order if you had to pick, or do you agree with my list? Either way, let me know in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, and if you're not following me on social media, those links are down in the description below. And as always, guys, my name is Argon, and may you never die to a bush. Peace.
This guy up. He's by me though. Yeah, he's building up. Yeah, there you go. Last guy.
No, he's got a RPG.
Okay.
Low. You got him low. He got an RPG.
shit.
Good fuck.